Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I would love to have you subscribe, like, comment, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So today's video is going to be a two looks video. I'm going to be using two different palettes together today. Now, one of these palettes I've already used before on my channel, and several of you said that you would like to see me use it again, so here I am to do that for you. And then another palette I have never used before. I just got it in some friend mail. So this is the first palette. This is the Beauty Bay Youtopia palette, and my dear friend Alli sent this to me from the UK. And this is a beautiful all matte palette, kind of neon shades, I would say. I have a couple other Beauty Bay palettes, and I love all of them. And then the other palette that I'm going to be using is an all shimmer palette, and this is the Gourmande Girls Ethereal palette, and this is the one that I have already used on my channel before. These are such beautiful duochrome shades. I don't know that all of them are duochrome, but the majority of them are, and they are just stunning. And I'm so excited to create a couple different looks using this palette. So if you guys are ready to watch my looks come together using the Beauty Bay Youtopia palette, along with the Gourmande Girls Ethereal palette, then please sit back, relax, and let's get started. All right, so let's get started with look one using the Youtopia palette from Beauty Bay and the Gourmande Girls Ethereal palette. Now I do have my brows done, and this eyelid is primed in the P. Louise eyeshadow base in Rumor 01. All right, so let's pull this bad boy out, and I think what I'm gonna do today is a purple look. I'm gonna use this shade here. This is called Dreamland, and this one here, this is called Serene. The thing that I like about this palette is that even though there's some kind of bright neon shades in here, there's also some deeper shades, which is always really fun for me. So like I said, I'm gonna start off with this shade here called Dreamland. I'm gonna put that in my transition area. And I'm gonna be using my Real Techniques brush. And I'm really excited to use these palettes today because where I live in Oregon, it's been raining nonstop for days, which I don't mind the rain. I actually kind of like it. But it is pretty gray and gloomy out. And what I wanted to do today was just kind of brighten up my makeup look, you know, have kind of a fun, just brighter makeup look today. Ooh, that is beautiful. I love that shade. Okay, now I'm going to deepen up the outer corner with this. This is called Serene. Just put a little bit of this out here and into the transition areas a little bit, or into the crease a little bit. And I think I've mentioned before, I did get some new lights for my space here. And they are so hot. They're just like, they're like the bigger softbox lights, and they get pretty warm. So even though it's cold and rainy outside, I do have the air conditioner on, because if I sit here and try to film without that, I'm going to be a sweaty mess. Okay, now let's go into the Gourmande Girls Ethereal palette. And I think what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna use a combination of these two. This is called Exquisite, and this is called Astrid. This shade here is kind of a purpley reddish shifting shade, and this one's kind of like a purple and gold. And I thought this would look cool towards the latter half of the lid, and this one towards the front half of the lid. Spray this here, and I'm gonna put this down out here. And this is kind of a, I don't know, it's got that weird kind of overspray over the top of it. So you kind of have to dig into that a little bit before you can get like the true shimmer out of it. Or what I might have to do actually is use my finger, but I think I'm getting into the meat of the shimmer here. It's just kind of a flakier shimmer. It's a little different than what I'm used to, I guess. But once you get it on the lid, boy, it is so beautiful. That is gorgeous. I love that. And it does kind of have a blue, red, and purple reflect in there. I am just going to go ahead and go over it with my finger, because I can pick up more on my finger than I can on the brush. I like that. I know that not everybody likes to use their finger to apply their shimmers, but I like to do that sometimes. I think it just makes it easier to apply. And also, I think it makes it easier to kind of meld the shimmers together sometimes too. If I turn this way, it's kind of bluish. Turn this way, it's kind of reddish purple. Oh, it's amazing. Okay, now I'm gonna go to this shade here called Astrid. I'm gonna put that towards the front part of the lid. This is such a pretty shade. I swatched this earlier because I was trying to decide, like, you know, what do I want to do with these two palettes together? And when I swatched it, I was like, wow. And it does have that just vibrant kind of, I don't know, purple, but kind of gold too. It's such a unique shade, kind of like a magenta to gold, I would say. And it's really hard to see it in my camera, which I hate that, but you know, just take my word for it. It's pretty freaking amazing. It's gorgeous, actually. Try to layer this a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. God, that's gorgeous. Just stunning. I do, however, want to go back into the Utopia palette and go back into this shade called Serene and put a little bit of this over the edge of that shimmer shade, just a little bit there. But man, that looks so cool. So flippy. And I love that lighter purple matte that I put down, that kind of more magenta-y purple, because it really helps kind of, I don't know, set that off really nicely. I love this Utopia palette too. Alli, thank you so much for that. So I think I'm pretty much done with this look. I think I will do my lower lash line off camera along with my other eye, the rest of my face makeup, the finishing touches, and I'll come right back. I am back, and this is the finished look. And I love how this look turned out. Now, normally I would talk to you guys again about the eyeshadow palette, show them to you, and we'd discuss it. But because I'm doing 2 looks, I think I'll just wait and do that at the end of the video and talk about all the different shades that I used for both looks. But before we do move on to look number 2, I did want to talk to you guys about a few things I used for my finishing touches today. On my lips, I used a combination of 2 things. I used the LaBelle Cosmetics Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Vamp Addict that Steph, not your basic Steph, sent to me. This is my favorite purple liquid lipstick that I have in my collection. And I also popped a little bit of the ColourPop Luxe lip oil that I got in my ColourPop mystery box over the top of that. I just wanted a glossier lip today. This is really nice. I really like using this. And then for my lower waterline, I used the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Charmer. I just felt that this purple shade would look nice with the eyeshadows. And then I also put a little bit of liner on my upper lid as well. This is the Essence Cosmetics Eyeliner Pen in black. I got this off their website, I think for $3, and it works so well. And then for my mascara, I did use the Catchy Eyes mascara in black from Gosh Cosmetics that Pia, Makeup by Pia W, sent to me. I love this mascara. It's amazing. And then for my highlighter, I did use something that I just recently got in some friend mail from Avita, also known as Viva You're Pretty here on YouTube. I used the Aurora Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills that she sent to me. I use this shade here called Spectra. It's gorgeous. And I also popped a little bit of this in my inner corner. How fun. So fun to use this. I love having unique highlighter shades in my collection, and I can't wait to use the rest of those shades. So without any further ado, let's get on to look 2. Let's get started on look number 2 with the Beauty Bay Utopia palette along with the Gourmande Girls Ethereal palette. So here's the Utopia palette. And I think what I'm going to do in this look is do a green and orange look. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe like a more vibrant fall look. And I'm going to start off with this shade here. This is called Halcyon. I'm going to put that in my outer V into my transition area with my Eco Tools brush. And it is freezing outside this morning. Holy cow. And I also read that it's going to start freezing at night here over the next couple of days. And the thing that I always do to myself, which I'm going to really try hard this year not to do this, is I always forget that it's going to be frozen. And then I go out in the morning and my windshield is totally frozen. And I'm already late for work, or, you know, maybe just right on time for work. And then I have to stop what I'm doing and take the ice off of my windshield, and it takes me forever. So what I'm going to do after I get done filming here and get my video all wrapped up is I'm going to make myself a little note, and I'm going to tape it to my front door to remind myself that it's going to freeze, and then I need to give myself a little bit more budget, more time to go out and get the ice off of my dang windshield so that I'm not 15 minutes late to work. And this is going to look a little weird for a while. Just let you know, it's going to look a little strange, but you just have to trust the process. That's what I always tell myself when I start to panic, because I think my look's going to be really wonky. I'm like, just calm down. It'll all wrap itself together, hopefully. Now I'm going to grab a different brush here, and I'm going to go into this shade here. This is called Blaze, and put this towards the front part of my transition area. And my brows are done, and my eyelid is primed in the P. Louise eyeshadow base, and that's this shade right here. I never show that well enough. I forgot to mention the fact that I'd done my brows and prime my eyelid. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here, just kind of buff this on, just kind of meet it up with the green, but try not to overlap the two very much, just maybe just a little bit, but not much. And this is one of my Jessup brushes, and it's getting a little scratchy, but it still works really well. And I like it for things like this, just to kind of, you know, put the front part of the transition shade down, or put this towards the front part of my transition area. I don't know, because it works really well for that. It does a good job of like kind of getting into this little spot here, and then also it blends out nicely too. Now I'm going to grab the Gourmande Girls Ethereal palette. And what I thought I would do is put this green shade called Shangri-La towards the outer part of the lid, kind of underneath that lighter green shade. And then I'm going to put this shade here called Radiance across the lid, kind of under where the orange shade is. But that would look really cool. I did swatch this green shade last night. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do a green and orange look or a pink and orange, or I knew I wanted to have the orange in somewhere. And when I swatched this shade, it totally made me realize that I had to use the green today. So I'm gonna put this down here, just kind of underneath that lighter green matte, and kind of maybe blow it up a little bit too. I'm not sure how this is gonna turn out, but I'm hoping it works. We'll see. Kind of go over a little bit into the orange, just a little bit. And then probably what I'll do too is grab that light green matte and put that, kind of blend that edge out a little bit because it's going to be a little harsh. Let's go into the Ethereal palette again, and let's go into the shade here called Radiance and put that across the lid. And oh man, that is so beautiful. It's like a orangey gold mix, but it also does have a little bit of green in it too. It's really cool. Really a cool shade, kind of a duochrome, I would say. And I think actually I am going to go in with my finger, just because I want to make sure that the orange and the green kind of mush together a little bit better there. So let me go in with my finger, put that. I mean, I don't know how well you can see that in the, isn't that cool? It's like orange, gold, and green. Oh, it's so cool. So I'm just going to kind of tap that or smush that over the edge of that green shimmer a little bit, just to kind of make sure that that doesn't look too bizarre right next to each other. But because there's a little bit of a green cast to that orange, it does really mix well with that darker green shimmer. That's really cool. Oh, I dig it. That is so cool. I love these palettes. Oh my gosh, I love both of them. I love the Youtopia palette, and I really love this palette, the Gourmande Girls. It's amazing. So now I am, though, going to go back in with my Eco Tools brush, and I'm going to go back into Halcyon. And I'm going to blend this out just a little bit right here, just so it looks a little bit more, I guess, kind of put together. Doesn't look quite so harsh right there. Just kind of go in circular motions, just kind of blow that out a little bit. So I am going to go off camera. I'm going to do my lower lash line, do the other eye, put the rest of my face makeup on, and I'll come back and show you how this all came together. I am back, and this is the finished look, and I really like how this look turned out. Although I do think I like look number one better. I do. And I'm going to go into more depth about the eyeshadow palettes now that I've finished both looks. But before I do, I did want to go over a few things I used in my finished look today. I lined my lower waterline with the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Icebreaker. I just thought this shade of green would go well with the eye look. I would have preferred to put an orange liner in my waterline, lower waterline, but my orange ColourPop Cream Gel Liner, it has broken out. I don't know what happened to it. I pulled it out a few days ago, went to wind it up to get the liner out, and it's gone. I have no idea what happened to it. And I do like this. I like this shade, and I think it looks nice with the eye look. And then for my mascara, I did use the Gosh Cosmetics Catchy Eyes in Black again. I just had to. Pia sent this to me. I am madly in love with this mascara. For my upper lid liner, I did use the Ciate London Fierce Flicks Liquid Liner in Black. This is almost gone. I'm just trying to use it all up. I knew this would go well over the top of those shimmers, and it totally did. And then for my lips, I used the Cara Beauty Metal Liquid Lipstick in the shade Badass. This is the only orange lipstick that I have in my collection, like true orange. And I just felt that this would go well with the eye look. And for my highlighter, I did use the Aurora Glow Kit again from Anastasia Beverly Hills that Avita sent to me. And I used a combination of two shades. I used Eclipse and Lyra. And I started off with this shade just because it had that kind of lighter yellow cast. I thought that would look nice with the eye look, but it does have a little bit of a pink edge to it. So I topped it with this. This is the kind of a more, I don't know, goldy orange shade. And I really like how both of those look together. Beautiful highlighter palette. Avita, I'm in love with this. All right, now let's talk about the eyeshadow palettes again. Let's start off with the Beauty Bay Utopia palette that Alli sent to me. I love this beautiful all matte palette. Now these are pressed pigments, which I never can really figure out the difference between a pressed pigment and a traditional eyeshadow. In my experience, pressed pigments typically always stain my eyelids. And after I put these two on yesterday when I got home and took my makeup off, my eyelids were a little stained. Not bad, but they were a little bit. I also know that pressed pigments sometimes can be a little bit harder for me to manipulate. They don't blend out as well, but I really felt like these two did a great job of blending and they worked really well together. This shade is called Dreamland and this shade is called Serene, and I love them. And then for this look, I did use this shade here called Halcyon and this one called Blaze. I love both of them. Now, I don't have a lot of experience putting neon shades together, nor do I have experience putting green and orange together, but I just wanted to try something new, kind of experiment a little bit. And I do think they did a really good job of staying true to pan. You know what I mean? Like when I put them on my eyelids, they look pretty much like they do in the pan here. Now, I did use a eyeshadow primer that kind of blanks my skin tone out, but not completely. So I'm really impressed with how the color showed up on my eyelids. I wish that I had some more experience using these two shades together, orange and green. I think my look would have come together a little bit better. But, you know, I had a lot of fun experimenting, and I do like the way the look came together. Now let's talk about the Gourmande Girls Ethereal palette. Oh, I'm so in love with this. For my look yesterday, I used this shade here called Astrid and this shade here called Exquisite together. Oh, they are gorgeous. This shade was my favorite out of the two. I do like this one, but it just didn't really adhere that well to a brush, which is fine because I can use my fingers to apply my eyeshadows. I'm fine with doing that. I know that not everybody likes to do that, but I'm totally fine with it. This shade here is just so dynamic. It's so cool and unique. It's kind of like a purple to gold flip. Super interesting, very different than anything I have in my collection. And then for today, I use this shade here called Shangri-La, this shade here called Radiance, and I also put this shade here called Lucent, yeah, in my inner corner. And honestly, I wish I had put this on my lid. I mean, maybe not in lieu of that, but maybe together, maybe all three of these together. This is so freaking amazing. It's like a gold to green shift, like a very pale green. Oh, it's so pretty. This shade was gorgeous too. Orange, but it also has a little bit of yellow, like goldy yellow and green in it. And this is just stunning. Very beautiful, deep kind of teal green shade. I'm telling you, I am so happy that I picked this up. I'm so happy that I watched Steph from Steph's Beauty Stash use this on her channel. I don't know that I've seen anybody else use it. Maybe. I just can't remember. But she created such beautiful looks with this, and she sold me on it. And I just love this. If you guys want some really fun, unique, different duochrome, triochrome shimmers in your collection, I highly recommend picking up this palette. I'm a huge fan of this brand. I have the Sailor Moore palette, also use that for my channel. And I'm just in love with this. I cannot wait to use the rest of the shimmers in here. This was so fun to create two looks using two different eyeshadow palettes. And I would love to know what you guys think of the palettes, if you guys have them, if you're thinking about getting them, just let me know in the comment section. I would also love to know which look you guys like the best. Do you like look one better or this look? I'm leaning towards look one. I really like the purple shades that I used. I'm still trying to get used to how green and orange look on me. Just not something I normally do. But let me know about that in the comment section. Let me know which look you like the best. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy day or evening to sit down and watch my video. It always means the world to me. If you have subscribed or you'd like to subscribe, do not forget to hit the notification bell. That way you're aware of all of my future uploads. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. But in the meantime, please take care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I hope to see you very soon. Thanks again, you guys. Take care. Bye.
Drop it.